Yo, what's going on? What's poppin'? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So I got an email from a subscriber, and the subscriber sent a donation. So thanks for your donation. And remember, guys, if you want to guarantee that your question will be answered, make sure you click the link below and send a donation. All right, so this one says, what's up, fam? I was watching one of your videos, and you were saying that attractive guys have to have different game. Can you go into detail about the game, especially dealing with the approach to having a team or having girlfriends? Also, what if that guy is a virgin? What game should he apply? All right, so basically this, I wouldn't necessarily say that, physically attractive, because that's basically what we're talking about here when we say attractive guys, because you can be an attractive guy, with a lot of different things. But we're actually talking about here, and I think I remember what he was saying with the video I was talking about. We're talking about like a physically attractive guy. And I wouldn't say it necessarily, or he necessarily needs to have different game. What a physically attractive guy needs to understand is he has to be aware of how women view him, right? Now, before I even get into all that, because when we talk about looks, you got to understand this, is that looks are subjective, right? So being a physically attractive guy is subjective at the end of the day. So you're going to have guys who you'll probably have a large number of people look at him and say, okay, yeah, he's a good looking guy. You understand what I'm saying? But the thing is that or every guy, basically, I should say, can be a physically appealing guy to a girl who thinks he is physically appealing. So basically, let's say if you're a black guy and you think you're just some average looking black dude, right? And let's say you give yourself like a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. You understand? And let's say, like black chicks give you like maybe a 6.5, 7, right? Now, let's say you have a white girl who's never seen a black guy in real life. She's only seen black guys from television and movies and rap videos and all that other shit, right? So now she's attracted to black guys because of what she's seen on TV. Now she sees you and you think you're a 5. She's going to think you're a goddamn 10. You understand? Because it's subjective. She has this thing where she's attracted to black guys. You're a black guy, so you're just fucking hot to her. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what I'm trying to get to you guys to understand that, what's physically appealing is subjective, and it comes from, what people are conditioned to like, what people, see all the time or whatever, and it gets in their head and their psyche, and that's why they like what they like, right? Now, they have the argument of people saying, well, if you have a symmetrical face and yada, 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 and all that other good stuff, right? So if a person has that, there might be a larger number of people who will agree to say that this guy is attractive, right? So I just want to, get that out the way, right? Now, when we talk about game and an attractive guy, physically attractive guy and his game, what we're talking about here is that it's not necessarily that he has to have different game. He has to be aware of how attractive these women see him, because based off of how women, attractive the woman sees you, she's basically, going to come up with an image in her head of how you should be or how you are based off of how you look. So what I mean is that a woman, she'll see you in let's say you're that physically attractive guy. She's going to think, oh, well, this guy must get a lot of girls because he's cute or whatever, right? So that's what she's thinking, right? And the ironic part about all this shit is that a chick, she'll see a guy, think he's cute and think that he's getting a lot of girls because he's cute, but then she'll probably be intimidated to get with him because she thinks he has a lot of women. You understand? And she thinks she can't measure up, or, she thinks, oh, maybe he might play her or whatever it is. So she ends up not getting with him. So she thinks he's getting girls, but she's a girl he's not getting because she's intimidated by him being attractive. But then she thinks he's getting girls because he's attractive, but he's not getting that girl because she's intimidated because he's attractive. You see how the shit goes? It's fucking stupid, right? Now, what happens is that you got to understand is that when you're an attractive dude, since that girl has that image of you, right? Everything else in the situation can only go down, meaning that since she has this high opinion of you, if you're not aware that she has that high opinion of you, if you're acting in any sort of way that deviates from that high opinion of you, then it's going to make you seem less attractive. Okay, I'm going to explain that in a second. So basically what that means is this, is that if this chick has this high opinion of you, but she's sort of intimidated, right? And then let's say you try to holler at her, but since she's intimidated, right, she's sort of resistant because she's scared of, you rejecting her or getting played by you, right? Now, since she's being resistant, if you're, not on top of your game, you might start to feel sort of insecure because you're going to be thinking, damn, like, why is she not feeling me? Like, why is she, not cooperating? What's going on? Right? So if she sees that you're, getting a little insecure or you're getting all flustered and you're like, what the fuck's going on? If she notices that, what happens is that breaks up the image that she has of you, and it makes you seem even lamer. It makes you seem worse because she's thinking, why is this good looking guy seeming insecure now? What's going on? This is weird. Right? So you don't have that image he has of you. See, a lot of times if you're that, physically attractive guy and women see you a certain way, the thing that you have to do as far as your game, and I remember my dude, I think my dude Ron Wills did a video on this a while ago. He was talking about like, game for good looking dudes. And he was basically saying that, you just need to be, cool and calm and collected and chill, because if you acting all insecure or if you acting thirsty, that sort of goes against that image of you being that good looking, cool dude that gets all the chicks. You see what I'm saying? So if you are the type of guy who's physically attractive, it's not necessarily that you have to have different game. You just have to be aware of the fact that certain girls will think you're attractive, and also be aware that, based off how you're acting can either make or break the situation for you based off of that image they have of you. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of guys, they this is why I always tell these guys, it's not just about looks and, looks don't matter. And everybody's like, no, you got to be super hot and that's how girls are going to want you. You have to understand that women are complex. So just by you being good looking, there's going to be a lot of other things that go, that come with that. So you have to be on top of your shit. See, I did a video like a few years ago called Pretty Boy Syndrome. And basically what I was saying in that video is that you have a lot of guys who are physically attractive, or women who would think they're physically attractive. But then if they don't really have game, if their game is not on point, right? A lot of times they don't get these girls. And then so since they don't get the girls, they start to feel insecure because they were sort of coasting on their looks. They were sort of coasting on the fact that chicks would check them out and all the other stuff. So they didn't really develop their game. They didn't really develop anything because they just had girls checking them out and saying they're cute. But the thing is that they didn't develop anything to get the girl really invested and interested in, into really making something happen. And then so they don't get the girl. And then since they don't get the girl, then they get insecure. And then that insecurity is the thing that repels the girl at the end of the day, which is why they don't get the, when they try to get other girls, the shit don't work. You see what I'm saying? So if you're that good looking dude, you gotta remember that the expectations are high. You feel what I'm saying? So if you're acting anything less than fucking cool, then you're going to be looked at as whack, and in a lot of cases you're not going to get the chick. You understand? So see, a quote unquote average looking dude has nowhere to go but up, meaning that if you're the quote unquote average looking guy and you step to a chick and you talking to her and you got that game and you spitting that shit and everything is tight and all of that, that just makes you more attractive. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, if you're already physically attractive, chicks assume that you're already that cool, confident guy that gets all the girls. So if you display that you're not, that makes you look even worse. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can't get any higher because they already have the high expectation of you because of how you look. You understand? I remember I think it was a video I was watching or something where they did studies where they said something like where people attribute, like, if a person is good looking, they think that this person is like smart or nice or whatever. They gave them all these good characteristics just based off the fact that they look good. You understand what I'm saying? So the same thing, applies when we're talking about the image, is that these chicks, they're, giving you or assuming you're a certain way because of the way that you look. And then if you're anything less than that, it makes you look whack. And so if you're the average dude, right, and you spit that game, it just makes you look even better. Do you see what I'm saying? So the thing is that, if you're that attractive guy, you have to be aware that you're that attractive guy, or that women are seeing you as that attractive guy. Or you could be, the quote unquote average looking dude, but then you might run into a woman, like I was saying earlier, if you're that black guy and that white girl is like, oh my God, a black guy. You feel what I'm saying? You might be that super attractive guy specifically to her. Do you see what I'm saying? And then if she sees or, senses any type of insecurity or any type of lame shit, then that's going to make her look at you, worse. Is going to make your value decrease in her eyes. You see what I'm saying? So it's basically just a lot of that guys need to be aware of. You understand what I'm saying? And you were saying also in your email, you was like especially, you said, can you get into detail, especially dealing with the approach and having a team or girlfriends or whatever. And basically, if you're that physically attractive guy, when you're talking to these girls, right? Again, like I was saying, you just need to be cool, calm, and collected. Don't act thirsty. Don't be on some insecure shit. And when you're talking to them and you're interacting with them, a lot of times, and I've had to do this where there were certain girls who I was talking to, and they thought I was like attractive or whatever. I was like, oh my God, you're so cute, blah, blah, blah. They would say this shit to me. And so when I'm talking to them, they didn't believe that I was actually into them. You understand? Because again, the image, they was like, oh, you can get this type of girl, you can get that type of girl. They'll say some shit like, what makes you like me? Like, I've heard that so many times from chicks. What is it about me you like? Right? So, for you guys out there who have girls who say to you, oh, you're cute, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes these girls they're not going to believe you like them because they think that you are out of their league. You understand? So sometimes, you're going to have to, I'm not going to say lay it thick on them, but you have to let them know that you're into them. You understand what I'm saying? You got to let them know you're attracted to them. You got to let them know you want them. Because sometimes they're not going to believe you. And then them not believing you is the thing that's going to make them hesitant or resistant to dealing with you. Again, this is why I'm trying to break this down for you guys, for all you looks matters guys. Like, oh, it's all about looks. So you don't understand this part of the game where how you being this super good looking guy in her eyes could backfire if you don't know how to, go about it. So again, you just be cool, calm, and collected. Don't be thirsty. Don't be insecure. And if you notice that resistance or her sort of feeling intimidated, you just, reiterate that you're actually into her. Right? And, you got to, make sure that you understand that point of the game. So, I just wanted to break that down a little bit when we talk about this whole looks thing and, the physical stuff and attraction and all that. And of course is, other ways to be attractive to women, you know, when it comes to personality, your game, and all that other stuff, because all that to me actually is more important, because again, you could be a good looking dude, but again, if your vibe and all of that shit is all fucked up, then it ain't gonna work for you. And you could be an average looking guy, but if your game is on point, that ain't gonna do nothing but help you out. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, again, with looks, you know, you can't just rely on the looks. You can't just rely on that. You see what I'm saying? And this is why I always laugh at these dudes. Oh, it's all about looks and all that. I'm like, okay, yeah, you keep thinking that. You keep thinking that. You understand? You keep thinking that, because all it's going to do is, if you don't think you're a good looking dude, all it's going to do is stop you from getting shit popping. And if you are a good looking dude and you think it's all about looks, all it's going to do is going to make you more insecure, because you're going to notice that there's going to be chicks who ain't fucking with you, and you're going to wonder why. And it's because your game is fucking weak. You feel what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to say about that. If you guys have any more questions, make sure you click the link below, and I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone.
Now, before you turn off this video, I want you to do 3 quick things. 1, I want you to click the link below to send me a question. If you have a question on dating and relationships, I'll make a video about it. 2, I want you to click the link under that to get my free audio program, Undeniable Game, which teaches you 7 easy to follow tips on how to really attract beautiful women. And 3, I want you to click the link under that one to go to Bad Boy Membership, where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month.
Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy Membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy to follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy Membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.